Temos de tentar fazer impacto em inglês. Sharunas, thank you so much for being back to Lisbon. Also Laura, let's start this Q&A. If you can jump in at any moment, please raise your hand. And there is a question over there.
Hi, I would just, if you can talk a little bit about the working space with the actors. How did you work with them? I don't know if they are all of them are actors, and with the people in front of the camera.
That is a long story, in fact. You mean this film or in general? Because what's here in this film, I started to try to do all my life in cinema. I mean that what is the acting itself, and I could easily differ, like all of you, I think, when something is acted, like imitated, like just shown us to a set like that or like this, and what is lived. So that was troubling me from the very beginning, and let's say in the very first film, which is like documentary, half of it was documentary and half of it was like directed. I mean, the situations that were created and people were directed, but it was like documentary. So that belongs to acting. Acting is like people do it with all their bodies. It's not like everything is connected. Your brain, your speech, your body moving, everything. And also feelings. That should be like something like in one, everything in one. So it's difficult to achieve that, and I was trying to do it all the time. And how it's in very different ways, like in different ways you talk with your friend, in different way with your grandmother, in different way to someone unknown in the street. So actors are people, they are the same, we are all the same everywhere, but also we differ. So when you talk to someone or you try to achieve something, you try to talk to him to be understood. Not to say something, not to express yourself, like during the work. It makes no sense. So, and then it differs to someone you can just move, you just can show that it's not like this, or someone which is empathically high. He feels that he himself that he wants to do it again because something was wrong, something was a lie. And to other, you have to even to cheat or something. Sorry for the long answer.
Maybe I should add. Was it hard for you when you started to appear in your own films? I mean, 2 films ago in Eastern Drifter, even if you played, of course, a long time ago. For example, for Leos Carax in Paul X, but it was 16 years ago, and then we achieved to this situation in this film where characters have no name, and maybe you felt that you had to play this character. The daughter in your film is your real daughter.
Yes, I thought that I have to do it, especially in this film, uh, to play in films. In films, I tried also before, even in mine. So in the first film, I saw that the situation. It was a very difficult situation. It was a change of Soviet Union to independent Lithuania and so on. It was the first independent film and very hard work for us all. So I refused to do that. But we made like tests and so on with Kata Golubeva. We were going to play this first film. I quit it, then in the corridor I appeared, by the way. And in this film I really had to do that, yes.
Laura, maybe you could add something on this and on your own experience this film.
Experience is a big experience. Quite big. It's first time when I'm acting, and I don't know what to answer. It's just very beautiful remembers and feelings and a lot of questions after, and still now.
Marcel, any question?
Hello, good night. I'm sorry for this kind of questions, but I really wanted to know what's in your mind when you decide to shoot so many close-ups and so few two shots? Because I don't know, to me it was very, I don't know, it felt really strange.
I don't know why.
It's really strong. In the scene in the lake, you'd never see them in the same space. And there's a feeling like when she doesn't do one last note in the concert. It's very powerful, but I don't know what was your intention also in the conversation inside with the woman, with the man inside the car waiting for her. It's a very long scene and it's almost only close-ups.
Which place exactly? Sorry.
I don't know, I think
End or
75% of the movie it's close-ups, and we don't usually see that.
So what can I do?
No, I just wanted to know what you wanted, if there was an explicit thing or you wanted to...
Don't just say, I just wanted to show the face, and the face which you could feel, and the closeness was chosen by that, and the thing that it's not usual. In fact, I didn't think about it. It doesn't really trouble me. But I can tell you that that kind of close-ups is nothing special. You can find it in every film, even in every thriller or everywhere. But maybe not, maybe less. I don't really know. But you have to make choices. So sometimes you choose because, and sometimes you choose because out of because, So then that's how to say. Something's choices doesn't have an explanation, or if you start, you can say several explanations, maybe 5, and they will be right. So about composition, it's difficult. I mean, can talk hours, but it's it's like that.
Sharunas, I have a question for you. Why did you, a little bit more simple, maybe not, why did you call this film Peace to Us in Our Dreams? Because there is a kind of strangeness and a dead calm in this title, even if the film is not so calm as that, but there are also ghosts from the past, from your own past, the appearance of Katerina, your ex-actress, also wife who passed away some years ago. And this title is very unexpected for a film signed by you. I don't know.
I don't think so. To explain, I cannot explain. I just, I think it fits. If I'm wrong, then what can I do? It's too late. We could call it, language has a lot of words, and you have to choose them. So when they are chosen, it's always the problem. They are already chosen. So some words for title or for saying something, you already told that. It's like a sentence which is told, and you can't take it back. It's too late.
Isn't there a question of rhythm, pace of the film that perhaps comes from the...
No, in fact, let's say we tried to translate this title, to tell about it. In Lithuanian, it was a bit silly sounding, but we did it. And in French, let's say, it must go out in France in February. Many people tried to translate this title in French, and they said, okay, we'll leave English title. Yeah, really, because it didn't have the original title was English, because peace has two meanings, and dreams has two meanings in English. Dreams is when you dream and during your sleep, and dreams about, let's say, going to the beach or something. And the same is about peace. It also has two meanings. So that's what is something special in this title, that it's difficult to translate to other languages.
Maybe one more from there.
Hi, Sharunas. The characters around you, they look very tormented, like they are yearning all through the movie. Do you see your own character as some kind of a strong man that has an end for them in all scenes? But then when you film your own face, you look like the most tired of them all. I don't know. People used to say that there are some men that have the power to understand their own times. Do you feel that you have, in some way, this power to answer their questions? But at the same time, as I said, you look very tired. And then, do you use the film to exercise some of these, some ghosts, like the ghost of your Katrina? I feel like in all your films, you lost some kind of hope in society. Like in this movie, you end the movie with the death of the boy, and the car goes out like if it wasn't anything. Like dans Indigènes de Razi, you make the same with maybe unfaithfulness between the man and his girlfriend. Do you have any hope in cinema? What is do you believe that you have a constant work to keep going? I feel your work is very strong, but I don't know if you are strong, as I don't know you as a person. I don't know. It's not a question, but like recently there was a filmmaker that died, Chantal. I don't know if you knew her. And some friends of mine, they said there are some people who can understand the problems of the world, and some of them don't know how to work with that. If you have not hope in society, can you keep distant from that and keep filming your person, your people, with this yearning, this feeling of yearning, and still keep believing that you have work to keep going on and on and on in your filmmaking? I don't know. I felt I had to say something like this. I didn't want you to shut up because I like to hear your ideas. I love your work. I don't know.
So sorry, there were so many questions in one, and I really don't remember them all. But the question about hope, it's a rather usual question. Even from people I know, they say, "Why there is no hope?" But I don't think so. I mean that I don't think that cinema must bring hope necessarily. I don't think that films must be all the same. I don't think that a hopelessness, sadness, and so on is nothing, and we have to forget it until the end comes. We can think about it, we can make films about it, we can write poems, books, whatever. It might be tragedies, it might be whatever. I just think that I will go on until I will feel that I need to do that and that I have no choice. So until then I will go on, because it's sometimes absolutely not easy and goes all the time more difficult. Also, I'm tiring of work and life, it's normal. Something else I forgot. I will remember that.
There is something maybe following the question. I would like to ask, it's much more trivial. Why there are so many animals in your films since the beginning, since you start? Mainly dogs, but not only dogs. There are always animals in your film, and if I remember well, because I haven't seen the film just now, I saw it a month ago.
It's two very simple answers. One is I like them, and another is that they are there. It's nothing invented. So if you would go in Lithuania, in fact, has a lot of forests, and especially nowadays when there is no much. I mean, in hunting you can't make money or something. So there are really rather enough of animals. If you go into the forest, you will find them. If you drive by car, you will meet them or even hit them, and so on. So, and a lot of birds. Sometimes you can't sleep in the beginning of summer because of them singing all the night. I tried to cut a part of it because it would be very boring, you know, all the time.
Maybe one more. Sharunas, do you still struggle with your scripts as we used to? I have the feeling, especially in your last 3-4 films, which are all separated by 5 years. It's funny that you, I don't know what to say, but maybe your cinema is tending to become more narrative, whatever it is. And I have the feeling at the same time that you write less than you used to. You don't have to do such a fight with the text, that things are becoming more naturally, but maybe I'm wrong.
You know, it's a thing which has two, one thing, if you don't imagine, you don't prepare, you don't imagine every scene and so on, you can't shoot. You can't organize it, you can't do this. Of course, you can go without anything, without just go start shooting, but with a crew it would be hard, and it would be, sometimes it happens, you know, because you don't really know what you know, but you try to find on the set. Then you sometimes have to throw out the material. And the question was about scripts. So I was writing script for the very first film. Then for others, I was not writing scripts. For like several others, I was writing like 2 pages, which was the main thing written there. And but later I was always doing the plan, scene by scene, like many scenes, 70, 80, you know, pieces were written like in 2 phrases, and you had a number. It was to organize, and it was like, it is the script for me. Because I think cinema has a right, it's not necessary to do like this, but it has right to appear at the moment it starts to appear, you understand me? Because it has image, and image it's not easy to write about it. I mean, if you write about it, so let's say landscape, you know, you come there, the landscape, you have to choose it first, you know. This is what these words mean. They mean, usually they mean, in scripts, and most important for people who are even not private investors, but it's more interested in funds and so on, where people need to decide to give money or to give, you know, and they have to read something and find. But in cinema, with the image and with the sound, you transmit emotions absolutely in a different way than you create it by words. So anyway, you have to transmit that script to something what you can use for shooting. It's not the same. It never is the same. You know, words work in our imagination. We imagine it, but you try to just remember. How do you imagine? when you read. You imagine like many small pieces from your life, from something like even not very concrete, you know, like streets about you, or read about something what you never saw, and you imagine from your life, you know, from like it's like a mosaic from your life, and it's imagination. It is imagination. So reading, we use it. Looking at the image, we can't use it because this imagination is blocked by image. You have it already. You cannot imagine that it's in the other way like you see. It's, you know, it's absolutely absurd. You cannot, if you see that, you cannot imagine that it's something else. You hear this, you cannot imagine that it's something else. So you can't stop, like reading a book you didn't understand, didn't catch something. So okay, you stop for a while, you come back, you read the page again. Yeah, you can't do that. It's next minute of the film, and it all the time goes on. So it's absolutely different things, and cinema is an absolutely new form of so-called art, very new and still very disorganized. In this case, in this meaning that you can't really know what you will see where. When you go to buy a book or to find a book in the library, you know where to go. You know that, okay, it's an old book, it's not in a shop, you have to go to the library. And it's in this, not in the science department, you know, even if the science department is okay, it's physics department, it's about stars, okay, it's astronomic department, you know, you have its classification. And okay, you ask it, you have it, you can read it. If you want, and you don't go to the, you know, to the next shop just to buy a book when they sell only newspapers and chewing gum, you know, it will not give you. They say no, we don't have it. And cinema is, everything is in one. I mean, if you go to the cinema theater, you don't know what is it. So it's in one big heap, all. It might be adventures, it might be some philosophical things, it might be, maybe you just divide in documentary, drama, that's all what you do. And also it's still kind of balagan, you know, which was like very short time ago, it was only in the market, shown like the people, you know, just like fun, like attraction. And it's still like that, because with internet it's better now. Time is changing. I don't know if it would change the minds of people, but because they can choose, they can send, they can steal, they can find much more easy and see films, let's say 50 years ago, which are very great films, or 30 years ago, and to start to understand what is in fact what is done in this place, you know? Because if you don't read from 10 or 12, you will probably never read books and always be in the box of TV when everything is said and so on, and you will not even need to buy newspapers. I don't know what will happen, but anyway, we have to, in 100 years it will be easier to find and to watch the film exactly you want, or now it's really, and before it was absolutely impossible.
You have just talked more than all the dialogues on your film, just which is quite funny because there are just a few dialogues in this film, and you were talking about time for me in a certain way. But also about the words are a problem in your. in your films and maybe in life also. I don't know if you would like to elaborate on this.
You know, what I do, I try not to lie. Sometimes it happens, but not very often. Even if it's not, I just don't want to lie, and sometimes I repeat the same things, maybe for many years, the same.
Mais alguma pergunta? Thank you, Sharunas. Thank you, Laura, for coming. If you want to add something, go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. I was not very, maybe easy to understand, but sorry for that, and thank you for watching. I'm very pleased for your questions and your attention.
Thank you.